Next function as an admin is getting the IPs from the users which are connected to your server. So string left from receive, let's see, IP, that's .ip, that's 3, equals .ip, then first of all we need to check if the user is an admin, because if the user is not an admin, that would suck. So if the user is an admin, we want to create a who. String term left. And then a who ID will equal user get socket of who, and if so if WID has something, then TCP send back to the user who requested it, who has to be an admin, and he'll get time the server says. So you can easily check up under stats, you check the user, so for their username, and then IP and their user, and then who will be the username of the person that you have selected, and then we'll have so blah apostrophe s IP socket get IP of whoops there we go. If the user that you entered does not exist, then TCP send back user does not exist. User does not exist. All right. Oh, and for this we want semicolon and the IP. Do it like that. And let's say you're not an admin, and you still try to access this, well, you do not have permission to do this. So we have endif and else, where do we have it? You do not have permission to do this. And if, okay. Perfect. Now let's go on with the next function, which will be ban. So we can ban users from our server. Else if string left of what we receive for, let's see, ban, yeah, that's 4. First, let's check if we're an admin. Of course, that is the first thing we always want to do. So if user who requests this is an admin, then similar with get IP, we need to enter the user who you want to ban. So again, we'll create the variable who equals string trim left of receive. This time it's 5 because we have 4 in the space. Who we'll create a WID again under user get socket. Got a little mistake there. Okay. If who is an admin, then TCP send back to that user you cannot ban an admin. All right. Let's say whatever is in the WID variable is not an admin name. Then Jesus. Ugh. So fucking annoying. I can't type. Else if WID -1, then IP. We need to get that. Socket get IP. We still need to write these functions. We'll do that at the end. And inside here, you want socket of the WID. All right. Now, every time you run your server or whatever, all these settings would be reset, and if you do not have a list of banned users, then these can always reconnect. So what we'll do is create a list of banned users. So file write line. Let's do that, because we just wanted to write a line and not create a new document every time. Banned.txt / and the IPs. So I can always read from that and know which users are banned and which ones aren't. Alright. First off, create this here to read out which user is banned, and send a global message, because we want everyone to see which user has been banned, and not only that they have disconnected the server, because they could just disconnect, but we actually want to be displayed that they've been banned. So it will run the disconnect function for B, which is the IP that we want to have banned, and next we want to send out a global message. And that'll be send all. We have time IP. Oh, whoops. IP has been banned. Alright. Then I'll send a private message back. Telling me, the admin, or whoever is admin, that the user has been put on the banned list. So sending back to my socket, or the socket from which the request came from. .log ban added username who IP, right, yeah. Okay, so it's showing the name and the IP address of the user who has been banned. Alright. And then from there, go to else, and first error, the user that you have entered does not exist. So I'm sure we could just copy that. Then we'll do end if, and then else. If you aren't an admin, you do not have permission to do this. End if. Alright, that's the next function, and we are done with that. Next up, we'll be creating a function to unban a user. Let's see, unban, that's 6. First gotta check if the user that requests this is an admin, so it is an admin, get the IP, string trim left, from what we received, and that'll be 7, because again, after unban, there will be a space, and then the username of the user. Alright. Let's see. If is banned IP it will remove the ban and send a message. Send all wait a sec, no. IP semicolon and IP has been unbanned. And then we want a message sent back to us telling us that the user has been removed from our ban list. Server and if else wait excuse me, a little mistake here. This is actually the else, and right here we have something completely different. So if the user that you entered is not banned, then it shows this blah 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 is not banned. Now here it's supposed to say .log ban removed. Removed. There we go. And if, and very last, else if you're not an administrator, you do not have permission to carry this out. There we go. Okay, now we're going to come to a cool function which any user can use, not only admins, and this will be the PM or the personal message function. So else if let's say PM, that's 3. String split, and we want to string trim left, right, and we want it to trim receive by 4. Replace space tag with tag. There we go. Now we select the who. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm checking right here, user, this is me. I am sending this request to data. And if who, so who I want to send it to is myself, then, well, no shit, you can't send messages to yourself. So you cannot send a message to yourself.